welcome back to the Passion Podcast, the show about passion and purpose with guests who have taken brave and bold steps towards living their very own passion-filled lives. This week's episode is with Danni and Naomi, founders of Lift Studio London. Following a long-awaited dream the ladies had to create a safe space for a community of like-minded women who wanted to build their strength and confidence whilst learning how to lift, the girls have just launched this studio based in Clapham. They literally opened today on the 12th, so if you love what they're all about, do make sure to check out the memberships on their website. Their aim is to cancel out the noise of the fitness industry and say a massive F you to diet culture. Their ethos is built on training for joy, not punishment, celebrating mind, body, and soul nourishment. They'll never ask you how much you lost, only how much you've gained. Welcome to the show. Hello and welcome, girls, to the Passion Podcast. That seems so formal. I always go into like formal podcast mode when I do the welcome. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on. First of all, how are you both? You've both been busy in the studio, so yeah, how are you doing?
We're all right, aren't we? Like we keep saying, like now that the studio is sort of finished, like the reno, the makeover, that we're a bit like, we keep pinching ourselves and being like, how did we actually do that? Because we did it kind of within 4 to 6 weeks. So we don't know how.
Weeks.
Yeah, we did it quick.
And also you don't really, before we started, it's only when you have the space that you can really kind of have an idea of what you're going to do with it. So it's like just all come together so crazily, I guess.
I've just had a thought, because this is mainly going to be audio, just so people can differentiate voices. Naomi, do you just want to say like, hey, I'm Naomi and I love...
Hi, this is me, I'm Naomi or Mimi.
Hello, I'm Danni.
Just so you know who's who when we're going through this. Sorry, girls. But yeah, 4 to 6 weeks. That's incredible that you've managed to turn it around, and it looks so pretty. I love it. The design and yeah. When are you planning to open?
Well, when Boris lets us on the 12th, so now we're planning for the 12th. So it's all a go. So now we're starting to kind of get the feelers out there to see who's interested. Yeah, but we haven't really pushed anything yet. It's only until when we get our promotional videos back and our content from our photographers that we're going to start doing that. So, okay. But yeah, we've still had a good amount of interest for what we put out there so far.
Yeah, because we haven't done a reveal yet of the studio, so we can't wait to like proper go, this is our space.
Oh, so I must have got a sneak peek via you.
I think you did.
That makes sense, because I follow you on your Lift Instagram as well, so I'm following along with that content, but you haven't actually put the feelers out. Oh, that's exciting. I wonder probably by the time this podcast is out, you will have, because it'll be like April. Oh, okay. Awesome. So tell us about it. Obviously, this podcast is all about passion, and I got you ladies on. I mean, I followed along your journey. Weirdly, Danni, I don't know if I followed you before Fern Cotton's festival, the Happy Place, or after, but I don't know. You probably don't remember, but we met there, and I did your like
the
challenge.
Bicep challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like I don't know when it was before or after, but ever since, I love like the content you share, and I love sort of what your whole message is about. And Naomi, we obviously, for the listeners, we know each other from the David Lloyd days, Beast Camp. So yeah, which we used to go to a regular boot camp class together. So
but you should explain this bicep challenge.
I can't even remember what it was. Like, so I have a company called Kettleboobs, and we were at the Happy Place Festival, and I think we were just trying to like engage with like everyone that was coming down. So we were like see how many bicep curls you can do, like total? Or...
Yeah, and it was funny because I think it was like I hadn't had lunch yet, and like my friends, because at the time I was like very much into sort of lifting and gym.
Yeah.
My friends always sort of class me as like that person, like gym junkie. When I'm actually not. I do just enjoy like, you know, working out, but I don't sort of define myself as like a junkie. They're like, come on, Sal, you can do it. And I was like, no, I don't think I was very good. I didn't win the competition, that's for sure.
Oh, dear,
All right, next time. But yeah, it would be amazing to know what is Lift all about? What spurred this project? And yeah, I mean, it's a huge project, and I'm sure that, you know, it's going to sort of be in your lives now for a long time. So it'd be great to know what it's all about.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so me and Mimi used to PT together in another gym in London, and when we first met, we just got talking, like as you do to like somebody else that works there, and we shared really similar like journeys, that how we'd like found fitness, what our journey had been like, finding the love for training rather than just doing it like to punish ourselves, but we'd both come from that aspect, and we just shared really similar ethoses in how we trained both of our set of clients, didn't we? We found that we just trained them in a very similar way, and we always got very similar clients. Like our clientele was really similar. And so we just start, I honestly cannot remember like the first conversation we ever had about it, but we must have been like, wouldn't it be great if we had a studio where we could train women? Because all of our clientele were women. We never trained men, did we? We were like, no
men allowed.
No men allowed. And we were like, it would just be great to have a safe space where we trained women and we taught them the like fundamentals of lifting and encourage them to train to get stronger and to enjoy training, rather than with the focus, which a lot of the time training, we found, you know, that a lot of our clients and women in general are sort of pushed in the direction of train because you want to lose weight or change your body.
Yeah, me and Danni were both like back in the day deep into diet culture ourselves, and you know, like, and always struggling to find the truth. I mean, from like buying all those diet pills that you get in the supermarkets, to like every fad diet going, to like all the exercise classes you think would get you long lean muscles, which we all know isn't a thing, and
not possible to change your biological structure.
Yeah, exactly. I say we all know, no one knows, like that isn't a thing. So I think we kind of shared that like interest in trying to help people realize that it doesn't have to be so complicated either.
No, I love that. And
and just creating like a nice space as well, because, you know, you have your yoga studios and you have your I don't know, like the
boutique hit class studios,
but there isn't really like this middle ground for where you can like learn how to lift weights in like a nice environment that isn't like an aggressive male dominated space.
And where we used to train, I'm not going to name names, but where we used to train, it was like music. Or like
it is like that. I won't name names either, but I know, and I looked at those kinds of gyms, and honestly, it's like I felt my heart rate go up as I stepped in, and I was like, it's like, no, I don't think we're designed, you know, maybe men are more sort of inclined towards those kind of work, like bring out the, you know, muscles of the masculine, but I feel like women, you know, generally speaking, which I probably shouldn't do, but need more of a softer approach and need that kind of similar people to be able to kind of mimic. Because I know as well, Naomi, when we used to train, right, like think of all of the PTs, probably 85% of them were men, and you know, they had a very different ethos and probably goals to what we as women do have. So I think it's amazing, and I want to come to this gym. As I said to you, Naomi, I've come to Spain just at the kind of wrong time. Like I would definitely be here for Lift Studio, and when I'm back.
I think that's it as well. It's like creating, because the training that we do is lifting, you know, and it's not being like, right, women need to train in a very different way to men. It's a, you know,
and it's not just about like, you know, not making progress or results or training hard. Like that's not what we're about as well.
Yeah, you know, this 100%, this is a space where you're going to learn the actual reasons that you do, why you make progress. And I think unfortunately mainstream, if you walk into a gym, because of the way mainstream diet culture as well as mainstream fitness kind of is sold to us, is that like men have the weight section and the women can go to the classes. And we're trying to take that approach and say, look, we don't like the techno music at 6 a.m. and I don't know why people do, but some people do love that. But we want to play a bit of cheesy J-Lo and have the music on in the background, and then just like a bit of Lizzo.
And Lizzo
like,
for the 6
a.m.
morning
right?
vibe.
Yeah. And that's not going to also be for everyone or every woman. We're not saying we are for every woman, because some people love going to the gym that we went to and having that aspect of the pumpy music at 6 a.m. But we just felt like we've never been into a space that was this mix of yoga studio, HIIT studio, lifting studio. Like it was always like dingy black, red.
You're so onto something. Like I've literally never seen anything like it. I was talking about it to my flatmate earlier, and I was like, it's a lift studio for women. Like that's revolutionary. Like it's so simple, but it's not something that exists. So kudos. Well done. And I was just
gonna say, just because I always want to sort of give props to other people that have done it. Like there's two girls that have done a women's lifting studio as well in like northeast London, and they did it last year, and like they're doing really well. And it's something that, you know, because we'd had our idea and we were like, someone's done it as well. Like, so this is great. This means that there is space for this in the market, right? Like there's room for us all as well. And I think the more that people that are doing it means that in the future, there'll be more women's lifting gyms, which is absolutely perfect.
100%. And I love that, you know, you encourage that, and we want to see more of that. I think when you're in a space, you're in it because you're passionate about it, and because you know, it's not about competition and like they're doing it too. It's like, no, let's all exactly. And like, you know, that was the feeling I got at Fern's Happy Place Festival, which by the way, like I can't wait to go to another one of those.
Me too.
It was so much fun. It was all about that, like bringing together all of these businesses that are about making people's lives better. And that's what, you know, we're here for. So I love it, girls. Naomi, you were about to sort of say around the kind of, you know, you're not about not progressing. I think Instagram culture, it's a weird space, Instagram, and you know, we've all got a voice and we all latch onto the trends, and I'm so guilty for it and terrible for it. And I really liked a post that you wrote. I've got it here. You said, it was longer than this, but the key part is, I lay somewhere in the grey area. I believe it's possible to accept yourself while striving to change. And I think that is such a key point to make, that like, you know, you don't have to just be like, body positivity, I'm fat and I love it, or I eat, you know, 20 million cookies and I love it. It's like, you can, well, you know, I do actually love eating 20 million cookies.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You know, I actually baked the other night and I ate them all in the night, and I was happy about it. Like, yeah. But I like that sort of, it's not just about, you know, just accept yourself. Like, I like that you're about progression. So yeah, I just wondered if you had sort of any more thoughts on that, and around your kind of philosophy.
I think that's what it is. It's like you can accept where you are right now, but I feel like sometimes it may be like, although we are, you know, about body positivity. Like, we really encourage that. Like, we're not also shaming people if they want to lose weight. Like, it's like, you can do what you want to do. Like, we're happy to help either way. I think it's more just about having like the right information to be able to make an informed decision. So like, and if what you do with that information is up to you. So like, I think what I think is worse is people in the dark about like about the truth of how you do this. And I think that the more information you have, the easier it is to be accepting of where you are as well, because you understand what it is you need to change in your lifestyle to look a certain way, or to have those to be that Instagram model. And actually, like, for me, I don't want to live like that, and I definitely don't want to be eating those amount of calories that would make me look like that as well, or be doing that specific amount of training to be always in a bulk cut cycle, or whatever it is to give you that look that you're looking for. But I think without really knowing what it is, you always feel this like sense of desperation to try and like, oh, I need to be this, to do this, or try this, to look like this, or whatever it is. And as soon as you have all those answers, then you can decide where you want to lie on that line.
So it's almost your role to bring people that kind of full picture of what every part of your lifestyle will look like in order to achieve X probably unrealistic fitness model goal, right? And if they want to do that, then you will help them. I really like that.
Yeah, I think as well, I think it's definitely about perspective, because, you know, I've worked with a lot of people who want maybe the Gymshark ambassador kind of vibe where you look a particular way. And some people don't necessarily want that, but they still want to make progressions. And I think if you have a perspective, like, I've gotten really lean before, and I did a bikini competition, and in all honesty, it wasn't the worst time of my life. Like, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the discipline, but in my life now, I don't value discipline in that way. But at the time, I really appreciated learning something new, being in it for the full 6 months that I was in it. And I think that was a really nice, like, perception of me, to be able to look at it in a different way, to be like, that you can be at a particular point in your life and decide the gym is my priority, and that and maybe I today won't choose the cookies, but tomorrow I might. Like, we want everyone to make an informed decision based on how they feel. I think, unfortunately, diet culture, and also the fitness industry, and including the wellness industry, really, because it sells you extremes. It sells you like it's black or it's white. And we sit in this gray area of going, what about if you just train because you loved it, because you're learning something, because you're getting stronger, because you're gaining something, rather than the idea of you need to be smaller or look a particular way. So we're not trying to take away from anyone's want for progression, whether it be muscle gain, body composition changes, or fat loss. We just want to give you the option to train anyway, because that's going to be good for your well-being. Like, getting stronger isn't just about changing your body composition, although the byproduct of getting stronger is usually you gain a bit of muscle and your body composition might change. But that's a byproduct. That's not the reason we want you to walk into our gym. We want you to walk into our gym because you're going to have a community of women all up for supporting each other, having some fun, getting stronger, gaining like joy and strength and happiness and friends.
I'm so jealous, like that's going to be your life. Like, you're literally like, I mean, there is something so, like, the gym that I've been in anyway, there's something so like vibey about being in a gym environment, like, because I feel like everyone is there to progress and to get better, and I feel like you're just going to be like,
there's nothing more depressing than going to the gym and like counting the calories that you burn from running on a treadmill, and it means nothing anyway. Go to the gym just to punish yourself. No, like, that's like what we've said as well. This is kind of like our motto. We will never ask you how much you've lost, always ask you, but just always ask you how much you've gained.
Yes, I love that motto. Like,
yeah, it's all about
literally,
gaining.
Yeah.
Progress, you know, everyone that comes to the gym might be here for progress, but for each individual, that progress might be something different. Like we would, you know, for me anyway, with how I've worked with my clients in the past, and I think how we're both going to work with our clients in the future, is like, if someone comes to the gym and it be their like second month and they go, I haven't necessarily got stronger, but I actually looked forward to coming to the gym today. That's progress. Like there's so many different versions of progress, which is why we talk about what you're gaining. Like, have you gained better form? Have you gained strength? Have you just gained a mate? Have you gained something to do on a Friday night that isn't potentially something you didn't want to be doing before, and now you found something new? Like,
Totally.
there's so many versions of progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And like confidence as well, I think, is a big one with lifting for women, because I feel like, especially in the kind of normal gym environment, a lot of women would struggle with getting into lifting. I was quite lucky because I started it at college, so I feel like it wasn't as scary back then because I was like young and kind of didn't have those fears. But I feel like to start it, you know, at a slightly more mature age, or any age, it's difficult in a normal gym environment.
Yeah, and we both said that, like when we were talking about this idea, a lot of our clients would say to us, like, we just don't feel like we had the confidence to walk into the weights area and just own the space, because like we all know that environment of like being like picking up some dumbbells and, you know, a guy coming over and being like, I'm using them, or I'm using that. Like, you want to
sweat
be
dripping off every bit of his body, like,
okay, and you're like, give me the weights.
It's true. I always used to say to my clients, if I could give you the confidence of a mediocre man, then you would be flying.
And it's so true.
That is the truest thing I've ever heard. Why do men just naturally have more confidence?
I don't know, it's part of the culture of going into the gym, I guess. Like, you do it with your mates when you're young, I don't know, or I don't know.
But I think because they've been given informed knowledge, like we aren't. So I'm sorry, but like when I was reading Shape magazine when I was younger or whatnot, like it's telling me to do 100 burpees in my bedroom. It's not telling me how to lift a weight. And so men have had confidence with walking into the gym space. One, it's dominated by men anyway, so already there's that safety net for them, but they've been given the knowledge. And for us, that's part of the reason we want to create this space. In a sense, this could be your in-between of where you get the confidence, learn to lift, get the knowledge, and then you walked into that commercial gym owning the space because you have been learning to squat and deadlift for the last 3 months.
I love that. Yeah, no, we definitely need more of that in the world. So yes, you're doing a great thing. I'm so excited to come. I wondered if you would mind talking about what kind of led you to this point. Like, were you born lifters that wanted to show other women how to lift, or what has been your kind of journeys in, and you know, this I know is a little bit kind of individual, obviously. So yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I guess there are two things. I mean, the first part is like the fitness journey, if you will. So I started going to the gym when I was doing when I started one of my first jobs. Before that, I really did. I grew up kind of sporty, and I guess the university years just really like left me at the other end of it. And then throughout that time, I almost developed a borderline eating disorder, if not an eating disorder, where like I was just like desperate to be skinny, basically, and really just tried everything I could, every fad diet, everything. And like I remember also saying at one point as well, it's like, oh, why would I exercise? I'd just rather not eat. And that was kind of like my mentality towards just trying to be thin, like as if there was no other components to it. And then I started going to the gym, gym, I remember the first time I went to the gym, I went on a treadmill for 10 minutes and left and cried because I was so intimidated by the whole situation. And I just was like, in the biggest, baggiest t-shirt, I just felt awful about it. And then but I was just so obsessed with having to burn calories that I kept going back. Eventually it got to the point where I was doing 3 classes a day, and like one after the other, and becoming like this restrictive like during the week thing, and then just binging at the weekends. And then I was working with this girl that was a blogger, and she ended up coming to the gym with me. And a guide asked her if he would PT her for free, because for some exposure, I think. Okay. And I ended up training with her, and he kind of started to get me into the lifting side of things. So he was basically like, you can only come to the gym 3 days a week and just do these 3 sessions with me, and kind of gave me.
Which was probably good for you at the time.
It was good for me at the time. It stopped me exercising so much and taught me a little bit about building muscle and about how lifting weights could be beneficial. That was kind of like the starting point, I guess. Nice. And then after that, I went to David Lloyd, obviously, and then we were training with Lloyd as well. And Lloyd, as much it was kind of like it was bikini competition, right? Kind of style training, and which was fairly intense. He did.
Yeah, I mean, I was in very good shape in those days, but I look back, I'm like, how did I do it? Like, it was next level. Like, those bear crawls. Like, don't get me wrong, I do love a bear crawl, but oh gosh, I was battered after those sessions.
Sorry about it. But like, actually, he was the one that really like created this kind of like what is it, a community of girls, and like we were all such good friends with each other as well, and it was such a nice little like supportive group of people that we
boot camp and brunch.
Yeah, exactly. And most of us are still kind of in contact here and there as well, or at least with certain people too, and which was so lovely, and definitely something I've wanted to recreate, like going forward with other people, maybe with a slightly different ethos, but the same kind of community vibes.
Definitely. You should do like a little boot camp and brunch club. That would be fun.
We could do like Friday night and fizz.
Oh yeah,
Lifts and fizz or something.
Oh my god, I love that. Get some kombucha. Or like BCAAs or something, or just
prosecco.
Just prosecco. Just go, but you can't lift.
Some prosecco.
Yeah. Oh, that works. I love that. So much creative freedom in your own space.
Yeah. Exactly. So that was like the fitness side of it, but in terms of like the professional side of it, I was working in fashion for almost 8 years, and or 7 years, I think. Well, either way, I ended up moving to Germany, and I was because I did a design degree, and then like I just hated my job, but then at the same time I was kind of getting into this fitness thing as well, and becoming really like nerdy about like bodybuilding and actually understanding the process of gaining muscle and losing fat. And I was thinking, do you know what, I was thinking I already knew that I knew more than a lot of trainers on how to do this, and that I had, and I'm also fairly good with people as well, and I have an empathetic approach as well, and I just knew that I could do this, and I could actually like, and I'd be much better at this.
I remember when you were thinking about doing it, when you were in Germany. And I remember.
And then I couldn't say no. I just thought, if I say no to going to Germany, I'll always wonder. And I'm glad I did it, because honestly, part of it was horrendous. I nearly didn't pass my probation. I spent the first 6 months basically just crying. While I was there, like why I'd moved to Germany, like thinking I was going to be sent home a failure.
It's funny because it's so relatable. I feel like we all go through those moments in our careers and our lives where we're like, what have we done? Like, you've ruined everything. Why did I make this choice? But I just love that it always leads you to the thing that
definitely.
you're meant to do. I really feel that.
I always think like the worst place you can be is comfortable, because you never move anywhere from comfortable, you know, like if I'd just gone there and I was kind of earning my wage and I was kind of happy, then I might not have left. But like it was bad enough for me to think I can't do this job until I'm 70 and I have to retire, like, and I have to try something new, otherwise I'll regret it.
That's great to have that foresight, because I don't think a lot of people even think that far ahead. I think most people just sort of go, it pays the bills, you know, and they just sort of
that's because
carry
they're
on.
comfortable, and it's too hard to move from comfortable. Whereas if you're not comfortable, it gives you a kick up the ass, you know.
100%. And that's also the great thing about training. I feel like it builds that mentality into you. So yeah,
I was saying this the other day, actually. It's just the chipping away at something, you know, like you don't move mountains in a day, but if you keep doing something, something will happen.
Yeah, definitely. And what about you, Danni? What's your sort of history? How did you sort of end up helping ladies lift?
Love that. I a little bit like Mimi in terms of where I'd ended up deep into diet culture, just always wanting to be skinny. I grew up a chubby kid when I was younger and was not into sports. Like I was picked last for every PE team kind of person. I hated it. I was lazy. I hated walking even. Like I just didn't enjoy exercise, full stop. And but when I think I turned 16, I started working at a leisure centre, and I was so like obsessive about wanting to be skinny. I'd done my first diet and lost a particular amount of weight, and because I was working at this leisure centre, I'd sort of go into the gym and just do a load of cardio because it was all I knew. And this trainer said to me like, oh, why don't you lift some weights? Which he literally looked like Johnny Bravo, so I really didn't because I was like, I don't want to get bulky.
Yeah, I don't want to look like you. Yeah, this is another common misconception, but we'll get to that.
Yeah, 100%. But I ended up doing a session with him like once a week, and then he sort of gave me a program. I mean, I still teamed this program with an hour and a half of cardio as well, because like I was just too scared to like not do that.
Yeah.
So I did that for a while, but got deep into obsessive behavior. Like this particular person sold me slimming pills, and like I tried slimming pills because I was like, that's the way.
Is that even allowed in like a gym?
Of course it isn't. Absolutely not. And
what was it? Speed?
It was awful. I can't even remember the name. Ephedrine? I'm sure it was, like
do not try this at home.
Do not try this at home. Cut that out maybe, because I don't want to recommend it. But it was, I was, I think 2019, 2021 at the time, and truly like it just, suppressed your appetite and also made you literally like be as if you were on speed. And
God, that's quite scary.
Really scary. And the reason I stopped I'd take it sporadically for, over a course of period of time. And I just got to the point where I was like, I could die. I just felt like I could die. Like your heart felt like it was coming out of your mouth. So I got to a particular age where I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous. But I was still so obsessed. And a bit like Mimi said, like I wasn't into really training hard. I wished I found this bit in my diary when I was 14. This makes me so sad, where we discovered that a girl had an eating disorder. And I remember me and my friend were really jealous. And I cried writing in my diary where I said, I just wish I didn't hate being sick so much so I could make myself sick, or I wish I could just eat an apple a day. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. And like, that's really sad. Like, that's so sad.
It is. And the thing is as well, sadly, I think a lot of people will relate to that as well, because I've definitely been through those emotions as well of like wishing that I could, be as thin as people that clearly have very severe problems when it comes to their relationship with food and
or just genetically, were like, a lot of my friends were just genetically a lot slimmer than I was. Like, I didn't take into account that I'm mixed race. Like, I have a particular body type and shape and stuff, and I have a bum. But at the age of 14, not many other people in my school did have that kind of figure or did have a bum. And the people on telly were, it was the 90s. It was heroin chic was the look. It was Kate Moss, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera. And, the idea that at the time, J-Lo was, J-Lo's curvy. Was
Stop, really?
But we thought that J-Lo had a big bum. It's
my gosh.
It was such a crazy time, and there's a lot of aspects to my own issues. But
what would you tell her, 14-year-old Danni? What would you say now? Like, if someone younger is listening to this, and
all of the stuff I bang on about, like that your worth is not related to your size. Like, what does your size even mean? Like, all of the stuff that we coach and teach, like inform stuff, like what really creates a particular body type. But also, because this is the thing, like, you can want whatever body type you can want, but I definitely think it's about getting curious as to, like, why, what will that bring you? Like, because, and if you're chasing the body type rather than potentially the strength aspect or the
health
or the health aspect, the well-being aspect, it's like, what happened to us was we got so into it and so obsessed about fitness and training and not eating enough that we were not healthier versions of ourselves. We talk about this a lot. We're probably our healthiest all-round well-being selves now. We train a lot less than we did at one point, and we eat a lot more than we did at one point. And I think
winning combo, that I'm sold. Whatever you're doing, I want to do it, because that's what we all want, right? Train as little as possible and eat as much as possible.
Train smart.
Not
and I think
too hard.
that is it. It's knowing what that means. What does training smart even mean? And that's definitely something we want to teach at the studio. And also, like, what nourishing yourself really means. And we take it sounds a bit of a cheesy word, but the holistic approach. Like, this isn't just about what you do in the gym, but I personally truly believe, like, the stuff that we've learned training wise, and you touched on it a bit earlier, but it's this, when you get into training, and like the reason your muscles grow is like you put a stress on that muscle and that muscle adapts and it grows. And that's the same shit outside in the real world. Like, I've had so much stress in my life the last couple of years, but I've evolved and grown so much too, because you adapt to that stress and you overcome it. And so, like, for me, growing confidence in the gym, like, it's not just about, oh, I can do a squat now. It's about, I've done something consistently for the last few years, and I can take that out into the outside world. And our well-being has gone from strength to strength. The more informed we are, the more consistent we are at nourishing ourselves and getting a stronger body and stronger mind. And that doesn't mean being our strongest selves necessarily in terms of the gym. It means kind of just accepting where we are and doing something because we enjoy it and get a feeling that we love.
Yeah, it's just a well-rounded approach to kind of like well-being, rather than just, like, if you, rather than shredded abs and then you take away from the social aspect to your life, like, there's like an equilibrium somewhere that you need to find where you sit on.
And there's a
area.
And there's a hell of a lot of programs out there that do just focus on that very sort of specific, get rid of your bingo wings, or get abs overnight. And it's like, essentially what you're trying to say is there's so much more to strive for than that. But that might be a nice benefit, and that's cool. I think I think it's good that you can go to the gym to want to sort of improve some aspects of your aesthetic body, but dig into what is that about, like you said, Danni.
And what does that mean to you? Because improve, you know, like for some people getting a bigger bum is an improvement to them. For some people getting a smaller, like, so in a sense,
true.
it's like, it's all so personal that's why it's such a rubbish way to kind of like go about it. It's like, you know, a lean toned body isn't a better body. And I think that needs to be like a definite point. But yeah, I just think so. We want everyone to just come for the joy and the strength and the gains, whatever they might be. But we don't want to put people off in terms of if they have decided a better body is X, Y, Z. We want to be able to give them the knowledge and the information of how to go about that without you losing your soul. Because I promise there is a way to do it that does not involve 1,000 burpees and 1,000 calories.
That's music to our ears. That's music to our ears. So that leads me on then. Who is lifting for? Is there anyone that perhaps lifting is not for, that might be listening like, oh, I'm thinking of trying it out, and I'm not too, you know, sure whether it's the right thing for me or my body or my goals? What would you say to that person?
Lifting is for everyone. Like there's no one that it's not for. Like you really can start. Like the great thing about it is that you can be an absolute beginner and start with the basics, and then the most advanced people are still doing the basics. So there's just like one common denominator here. You're only just ever getting better at the basics, like the whole time.
That's the biggest realization I've had recently. Like I joined a boot camp class here, and it was funny because Natalie, the lady that runs them, she was like, because there was a group of us that she was going to sort of show us the basics. And I, thinking like I was all expert in this area, I've done it for years, I was like, oh, I know the basics already, like I don't need to come to that class. And she was like, no. And she was like, you need to come. I need to show you again, because the basics is the movement, and we all, you know, get lazy and we think that we're doing it right, but actually it's so easy to come out of form. So yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you look at it, you've got like pro power lifters, the best in their game, still recording their squats and trying to get better at them. Like there's never 100%. There's always something to learn or to get better at. Like, so it's a never ending story, which is great because there's always something to learn.
Yeah. And I think as well, in terms of like who is lifting for, you know, the only people I would say it isn't for is anyone that really despises it. Like, don't do stuff that you despise and that you don't love. But I would say you have to give it a chance to, like, for me, learning to lift took me ages to like it because we were being misinformed by mainstream fitness and diet culture. Mm-hmm. So if you actually like get taught the real stuff, the real basics, the real movement patterns, and are encouraged to actually rest and not just beast it until you cannot walk anymore. For me, I've yet to find a client that has kind of walked away after working with us and going like, nah, I don't like it. Because actually, when you like learn to do it in a way that empowers you and makes you feel great at the end of a session, that you go, oh, I learned something, or I lifted 5K more, or oh my goodness, my form on my squat was great. It's really difficult not to enjoy that feeling. And so, you know, like, look, and lifting as well, like I encouraged, you know, my aunt who's older people, etc., because the end of the day, strength and getting stronger, like lifting isn't just good for like growing a butt and some shoulders and creating shape. Like your tendons are getting stronger. If you are focusing on progressive overload and getting stronger over time whilst eating a decent amount of protein to make protein synthesis happens, that means you're getting stronger bones. Like there's way less chance of osteoporosis in old age if you lift and get stronger over time, and you grow muscles to support the bones and the tendons and stuff. So like
I'm so inspired right now that I literally want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And like it's not often that I'm like, I want to go to the gym, but I'm like, get me to the gym. I want to get strong bones and be really healthy. And as well, like the community aspect as well that you get from it. I think that kind of goes amiss, but especially with what you're creating, it sounds like there's really going to be an emphasis on that. And, you know, I think that's such a wonderful part of it, you know, being able to come together in unison and community with people that are doing positive things. Like, I think, I mean, look at you two, you met in the gym and
exactly.
now you've started a business together.
And we met in the gym, Sal.
And we met in the gym. Oh my God. I love it.
Yeah, we've always been clear that like it's a non-judgmental space. So anyone is welcome and no one here is to be judging anyone.
Love that.
We just need to like have fun, learn, celebrate each other.
That's so good. I love it. I feel like you've given like loads of sort of tips and obviously, you know, people can check out Lift Studio and follow the girls on Instagram. I'll get you to share at the end, but their content is top tier and you'll get a lot of value from that. But what would you say are your sort of top 3 well-being tips? Maybe one of you do 2. I should have done 4. Let's do 4. I'm going to put you on the spot.
We always bang on about it sounds cheesy and a bit woo-woo, but it's that self-acceptance. And I kind of don't mean that necessarily in like just be happy with where you are, but I do mean that if you can make an informed choice that you hold yourself accountable for, accept that choice. So as simple as if you choose to eat the pizza because you really want the freaking pizza, whether it be because you're sad or because you're happy or because you're celebrating or just because you want the freaking pizza because it tastes good, to just own it and to accept that choice. But also on the other end of that, I think it's really important to go, today I don't want the pizza because I want to feel a little bit more nourished or whatever. And you accept that choice, and to just be in this state of like, I'm sad today, I accept it. I'm happy today, I accept it, because, you know, life is just full of ups and downs and food should not be viewed as good or bad. And so I think acceptance is a really nice way of being able to have a nice sort of well-being.
Definitely.
But do you know what, I'll just add to that, because I think what I was going to say was something similar, but it's almost like on a day-to-day level, it is what it is another one as well. Like, it's getting angry or stressed about things is wasted energy. And honestly, like the amount of times me and Danni have made fuck ups on this like project, and honestly, some of the things that have happened, and we're just like, okay.
Like, can you share some of the lows? I want to hear the gory deets.
like little thing, like we put up a shelf and we had plants on the shelf, and then we walked in one day and the shelf had like fallen off the wall.
No!
The day before our PR shoot.
The day before the shoot.
Oh wow! What did you do?
Like a plant cemetery. It was so sad.
Oh
we were
no!
Like,
all the sort of
all the soil,
all the brown stuff. I can't think of the blooming brown stuff. The soil all over the floor. Yeah, broken ceramic. No, that's not fun.
Yeah.
No. But you know what? Like, it was what it was. It meant that actually we learned that the things we'd used to put in the walls weren't the right ones, and then we got it done correctly the right way. And
we got a good few actually. And like, we got conned by a neon sign company as well. So we basically gave like £600 to this neon sign company, and they never delivered. And we've only just, and this was about 3 months ago, we probably ordered the sign, and we just got a refund today.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
They were like the Far Festival of neon signs.
Oh no, that's not good at all. That reminds me of like when I ordered this ring off wish.com, and like it looked so beautiful on the website, and it came and it was just like a paper clip. It was horrendous. I mean, it was really cheap. Like, I don't know what drove me. It was just one of those like impulse moments. But
I think this, but being able to do the like, it is what it is, and that's not to say don't be sad about anything and not sit in your emotions. 100% do that, and you're allowed to scream, cry, etc., get angry. But I find that with your goals, and whether it be aesthetic or well-being goals or whatever, that helps you stay consistent, because you go, oh, I ate more than I really like wanted to even the day before, but I did. Okay, all right, what can I do today to make me feel good? And it, oh, I missed a week of gym training. The issue is when you're like, I've missed a week of gym training, I'm a bad person, this means I fucked up, then I'm not gonna go anymore. Like, whereas actually going, I missed a week of gym, gonna get on it again next week. Like, it's creates a space that allows you to just stay a little bit mindful. And that's probably my second tip, would be to then really focus on things that bring, I say to clients a lot of the time, how do you want to feel at the end of the day? And make your choices and actions based on what could help encourage that. So that means it will be different every day, because it might be that I want to feel strong at the end of today, and I know if I go to the gym, I'm going to walk out and feel that way. But if I've had no sleep, then making the informed decision to go to the gym when I've like had no sleep, I'm not going to feel strong.
Punishment.
Actually, rest is going to be good for that day. So I just think focusing on how do you want to feel day to day, hour by hour, or at the end of next month, means that you're going to focus on making choices and actions that make you feel good, strong, nourished, well, all of the things that we want to feel.
Definitely. I love that. Yeah, 100%. That's a great tips from both of you. Thank you. Okay, is there anything that I missed that you want to share before we jump into the lightning round, which is just quick fire questions? I feel like, we've spoken.
I think we're good. I think this is where Danni's going to thrive. Lightning round.
I don't know.
We're ready for it. Okay, they're quick and punchy. So you can just give short, nice, sort of whatever springs to mind. So 1, what is your why?
To feel my best self on any given day.
Love that. Naomi,
and me, my why?
Yeah, your why. Why do you do what you do? Why?
Oh, just kindness and love. I think that's why for everything. Just always.
Amazing, love that. yeah. I want to feel great. Naomi's like, I just want to spread the love.
I just say though, it's a little bit like putting your oxygen mask on, because when I feel my best, I am able to help encourage other women to feel their best too.
There you go.
Oh yeah. This is it, honey. I like that. I'm channeling that energy right now. Awesome. Books that change your lives.
Ooh,
just one each.
Okay, I've got a load. I'm gonna give one extra wanky one, which is Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now.
I was gonna say that.
Oh, was you?
Yeah, that's such a good one, isn't it? Yeah. I was actually chatting about Eckhart yesterday with some mates, and apparently The New Earth is a really good one. I haven't read that. Good. Have you read that as well?
Yeah. Okay. And I gave The New Earth to my husband. We were boyfriend girlfriend at the time, to read about a year after we got together, and honestly, for him as well, it was just it really impacted us both. But another one for me is Brené Brown's Daring Greatly, and The Power of Vulnerability. I feel like if those 3 books are just
strong foundations for a good life.
Yeah. Books about habits as well, Tiny Habits is a really great one, and it feeds into our philosophy as well. It's just starting small and just chipping away, but definitely have a little look at that one as well. That's a great book.
That sounds good. I'll check that one out. Thank you. A quote you live by. I feel like it's got to be Lift Studio. What? Wait, hold on. I know it.
It's not about how much
you lost. It's how. Oh God, I do know it, but yeah, that's a good one. And then your happy place.
Oh, well.
Oh my God! No way! That wasn't even staged.
Oh, you have to explain that one though. to anyone listening.
That's so, oh yeah, I will. Yeah, well done. So the girls just tilted up their camera, and above their head, they've got a neon sign that reads "Our Happy Place." That is so cool, which I'm guessing you're in the studio right now.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah,
This is it.
that's so cool. I can't believe that.
I can't believe that. Did you not know that? That was
No, genuinely no. Is it on your Instagram?
No, not really. No, it's not.
I've been sneaking into the studio, flew back from Spain, got a little look in through my telescope. And this is new. Hopefully it works out. But this is just like, I want you as guests to get something from this experience that we've had together for the last hour or so. And I want you to make a pledge, and I'm going to call it the passion pledge, to yourself, that is just something that you're going to pick up or put a bit more focus into to kind of make yourself happier and feel better and more passionate about life. So, yeah.
Okay, actually I was thinking about this morning because I have been really inconsistent with journaling, and I do find that when I do it, it really is really great for my mind and my anxiety. And Megan, what's her name? Megan Rose Lane. She sells a journal where you can fill it out rather than just, you and your own thoughts. And so it's more like a template. And I've been doing it on and off, but I want to start consistently doing that in the mornings now. So I'll do that.
This is your accountability channel.
Yeah, rather than scrolling Instagram.
Yeah, I've given up Instagram for Lent. Well, my personal Instagram, although I do go on it on the web browser to message you. Actually, I need to get your number. This is most unconventional way of asking Naomi for her number.
How do you feel after doing that?
I feel fab, honestly. Yeah, just a bit of a brain break, just because it's just a distraction for me. I find myself just getting on there and just being so kind of inundated with everyone else's thoughts, and it sort of stops allowing you to kind of think.
You don't even know you've opened the app, and then you're scrolling.
Oh, you're like 2 hours in. I'm like,
now that you don't have it, do you open your phone to go to open it still?
Always. Yeah. Always. Like, it's not there. I need to go on my browser to message Naomi. It's quite funny doing it it's much better on the browser because it's not as addictive.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not as user friendly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And what about you, Danni? What's your passion pledge for us?
My passion pledge is I have started writing a book. I've always wanted to write a book of some sort, and I started writing last year talking about grief and losing my mum. And I've written 30,000 words, and I just need to write another 30,000, and that's a memoir. That's enough. And so, but I stopped in like November. I was in just like a right old mood, and I had been for a good few months. Whereas I'm out of that mood now. So I'm like, right, do you know what? I think I'm going to go back to write. And I really enjoy like writing as well. And I think it's really cathartic. I always thought I was a really emotional, vulnerable person, but my therapist has taught me that actually I'm not as in touch with my feelings as I thought. And writing actually gets me in my feelings a bit because you're sort of in it and you're telling, I'm telling, my mum and my story. And so, yeah, my passion pledge is to finish the book, even if I never do anything with it.
That is amazing. I'm sure that's going to go places because, yeah, for sure. I think it's a subject and a topic that, grief is something that will encounter all of us at some stage, sadly. And it's not really something that has been given much light or attention or discussion. So yeah, that's incredible. Well done, you. And like I hope it is cathartic and it helps to sort of get that down on paper. So awesome. Good luck with it. I'm excited for you to for you to finish it, and I'll definitely be reading that. Amazing. Thank you, girls.
Oh,
It's
thanks,
been
Sal. That's great.
Yeah, we can talk for ages.
I know.
it's really nice. I'm looking forward to hopefully when I'm next in London, I can pop by and
come and train.
Yeah,
have some prosecco and pull-ups. Oh, before we go, where can people find you? What online?
So we are Lift Studio LDN, and that's also our website. So that's .com, and also our handle on Instagram.
Lift Studio London.
Amazing. And what about your personal? Do you want to drop those?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, my personal is Free Fanny, FNNI.
Where does that come from, by the way? Because I always thought that your name was Fanny.
Fanny.
Yeah. And then I realised that that's not your name.
My name's Danielle, but people call me Danni, and then all my close friends call me Fanny.
Nice.
And when I was starting, I had a blog, back when blogs were a new thing, called Fanny Confessions. And then I was like, I want to rejig it and zhuzh it, and I was getting into fitness, but for me finding fitness at this point in my life was about finding some freedom, and I really actually wanted to call it Fanny Flaps because it was me ranting, but my boyfriend was like, pushing it, and we come up with Free Fanny because it was about freedom and finding yourself. And me, I was starting to write about fitness, but self-acceptance and body acceptance for the first time, and so that's what that was about.
Amazing. Nice. And what about you, Naomi? What's your Instagram?
My personal one is mimi.wo. Workout it was for.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, and I'll obviously pop all the handles. And you're going to be opening, is it the 12th of April?
Yeah, 12th, yeah. You can go onto our website. You can probably when this is out, you can probably sign up for a consultation, book yourself in. And see us.
So
excited.
Yay! Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, girls.
Thank you so much, babe.
Oh, it's nice to see you.
Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. I hope you loved it as much as I did. And do make sure to follow both of the girls and Lift Studio, as well as Passion Pod on Instagram. All the links are in the show notes to find us. And make sure you tune in next week for the episode with Charmaine from Biddy Moon Tea. It's an incredible episode. We talk all about the tea that she's created for womb health, and we get into menstruation chats. We talk about her life as a mother, juggling motherhood with running a business and being a creative. It's really jam-packed, full of goodness. So make sure you come back next week to listen to that one. Until then, have a great week and see you next time.